Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks, and behind me is the magnificent walled city of Avila in the autonomous community of Castile and León here in Spain. And that's the city that we're going to take a look at today. So let's go and have a look. Now, where do you begin in a city like this? If you come here by car, well, I reckon you have to park on the outskirts of the city, or at least outside the wall, and then on foot work your way up to the top to explore the magnificent city. So let's head up there. Now, it's a fantastic day today, not too hot, not too cold, around 19 degrees Celsius, and perfect weather to enjoy this city, take a walk around and have a look what it has to offer. And from what I've seen so far, I'm impressed. And from here, it's all about this wall, this fortress that was set up to protect the inside of the city from the Moors, I believe, who were invading Spain back in the day. But again, if you want a history lesson on this city, better to look up your own information. Now, let's work our way up to the top. I'm going to take these stairs and hopefully I'm going to find an entrance up there at the top. Let's hope. The wall Arco del Carmen. Let's have a look. Magnificent. Okay, let's head into the old part of town. I've got an old truck behind me trying to get through, but he's let me go through first. There he goes. Now, not really sure what we're going to see here. We'll just have a look around, play it by ear. We'll try and find some of the historical sites or historic sites. And here we go. Here's a list of all of the places that are being redone at the moment. Rehabilitación del patrimonio histórico. And I'm going to say here in this city, there is a lot of heritage to see. In fact, Avila is one of the many UNESCO World Heritage Sites in this country. Now, in front of us we have the Parador, which is upmarket accommodation here in Spain. The Paradores, very nice old buildings that have been refurbished, turned into hotels, turned into accommodation. A little bit expensive, but if you can afford it, well worth a stay in one of these Paradores. Now, I'll just give you guys an idea of where this city is. It's about an hour or so north of Madrid. It's also in between two other fantastic cities here in Spain, one being Salamanca, which is about 100 kilometers away, and also the town of Segovia, the city of Segovia, which is also a World Heritage Site, Salamanca also. So plenty of World Heritage Sites in this part of Spain, the autonomous community of Castile and León, and Avila, as I mentioned before, one of those. And from what I have seen so far, it is very easy to understand why there is a lot of things to see and do in this city, and of course, well worth a visit. Now, I'll just take another look at this Parador and you can get an idea of the type of accommodation you stay in if you book in a Parador here in Spain. Fantastic. So let's continue the walk through the ancient streets of this town and see what we come across. Now, when I think of this part of Spain, I think of food, especially meat dishes. Avila, famous for the chuletón de Avila, which is a very big piece of meat, and also tapas in this part of Spain. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but when I came here many years ago, when you bought a drink, you got a very nice tapa. So we'll see if they hold that tradition today. And as we can see here, tapas de Avila, and you choose the tapa that you want when you order your drink. This place currently closed, but I might stop here when it opens a little bit later on. But I'm going to be honest, there are lots of places to eat and drink in this city, so you won't go hungry or thirsty while you're here. Now, this is one of the main squares here in Avila, Plaza del Mercado Chico. Obviously there's a market here somewhere, I presume, maybe not, but nevertheless an interesting place. Lots of bars, lots of restaurants around here, a nice part of the city to spend your afternoon or morning, which is the case now. Now we'll go for a walk, check out what's going on. And this is what I was talking about before, the chuletón. You've got a menú especial, a special menu, and you get that piece of meat. You also get a side, you get a dessert, you get a drink, and you also get bread for €27.50. And believe me, that is a big piece of meat. And people from all over the place come to this city just to experience that meat dish. Here's another example, menu for two, 60 euros, and this includes a bottle of house wine or a beer per person included in the price. And as we can see, you get that chuletón de Avila, around 800 grams of meat. And I'm going to be honest, my mouth is watering looking at those pictures. Now, as I mentioned, this is a city which is fairly close to Madrid, around an hour, just over an hour away, well connected to Madrid, and also the other cities in this autonomous community, Castile and León. You can get to Salamanca very easily, you can get to Segovia very easily, you can get anywhere you need to go easily from this city, so that is also a pro. Now, this impressive building is no doubt the cathedral, the most emblematic building in this city, I believe. Compared to the cathedrals in Salamanca, I don't think it's of the same magnitude, but a very impressive building nonetheless, and a fantastic example of Gothic architecture. So the Cathedral de Avila, the Avila Cathedral, we can see here that it stands as both church and fortress, known locally as the Femorro, and set in the walls is the most imposing turret of the east wall. Considered as the first Gothic cathedral in Spain, it stands on the remains of an original building that was devoted to El Salvador. In 1172, the French master builder Fruchel, he was ordered to begin the consolidation of the current building in transitional Romanesque Gothic style. And like so many buildings in this part of Spain, absolutely magnificent. And there's a very nice hotel right next door should you want to stay here bang smack in the middle of Avila. This hotel here, the Hotel Continental, don't think it's open, but I imagine that back in the day this was a place where many people stayed. Now we'll go for a walk down here, find the Plaza Santa Teresa, and see what else we come across in this city. We'll go past the cathedral, which seems to be having some renovation works or refurbishment works done to it currently. So always busy keeping these places in top notch are the workers. All right, what else we got here? Let's go down here and see. Calle La Cruz Vieja. Let's go, see what we've got. Now this obviously is a city which is a popular place for tourists. Being so close to Madrid means that people can just pop up here for the day. One of the many day visits that you can have from Madrid, whether you go south to Toledo, whether you go to Salamanca, whether you come here to Avila, very close and located bang smack in the center of the country. Lots of tourists around today, as we can see, people enjoying what Avila has to offer. Another hotel here, interesting place. Some of the locals, some of the workers. All right, what do we got here? This is a nice bar, I think, where you could come and have a drink of an evening, which is very close to the cathedral. So a definite place that I would stop at if I were here at another time. Los Patios de la Catedral. Let's continue. All right, now this is the plaza that we saw before. Also impressive. Fountains. Places to sit down, have something to eat, have something to drink. You can buy some of the local fare here. Jamón de cebo de campo, 75% raza ibérica, 150 euros for that ham there. And we can see here how they cut it, and that is an art here in Spain to be able to cut these hams. So we've also got paprika, which obviously is local to this area as well, and lots of things going on inside this shop with all of the local produce. Because as I said before, this is one of the better parts of Spain to eat and drink. And here you can see some of the fare on offer. It's a real meat-based diet here, so not good news for vegetarians, but I'm sure that you could find some vegetarian options should you require them. And we'll take a look around this square here. Absolutely magnificent, the town of Avila. Now this map here gives you an idea of what's going on. We can see that Avila is now a smart heritage city. So not only do you have an ancient city here, but you also have a city that's keeping up when it comes to technology, and that's important. Another grand building in front of us here belonging to the government. I think it says Ministerio de Hacienda, not sure, but a definite government building here. And let's be honest, the Spanish government is the owner of many fantastic buildings in this country. All right, the journey continues through the archways again, and in front of us another impressive building. This is where the locals go about their day to day. See plenty of people around, a mix of tourists and locals. I'll turn the camera around so you can see the walls here. We're on the outside of the walled part of the city. And we'll take a look quickly at this part, and then we'll go back in to the old part of the city and finish the video off. Now we'll take a look at this impressive building that we have in front of us here. Unfortunately, over there we have a Burger King, which is spoiling the aesthetics of this magnificent plaza here. But what can you do in the modern times that we live? And with young people who only seem to eat hamburgers nowadays, that's why Burger King is here. Now let's have a look at this statue here. Not sure who it is, but if I find out, I'll put it in the video. And looking back on the old part of Avila, fantastic. So, what is this building here? Let's see if we can find out. Iglesia de San Pedro. And again, another magnificent building in the city of Avila. And I'm going to be honest, I am impressed by what I have seen so far in this city. Isabel la Católica, one of the Catholic queens that ruled over this part of Spain. Now you can get an idea from what you see behind me just how important it was to protect a city like this one here, Avila, from the invaders that would come over these plains and try to take control of cities like this one. I mentioned the Moors before, but I imagine that over the course of history, many an invading force has tried to take this city. No doubt the soldiers would sit up there and keep an eye out on the invading forces that were coming over these plains. Now I've seen another place over here that's also offering the famous chuletón, so we'll go and check out the price. And here you're going to be paying €29.50 for that chuletón, IVA included. Now if you're not familiar with the Spanish language, the Spanish word for chop is chuleta, and the word chuletón basically means big chop, and that's what we saw before, a big chop, a big piece of meat, the specialty of this city. Now I mentioned before that this city is fairly close to Madrid, and that's a pro and also a con for this city. Not only when it comes to tourism, because obviously you're going to get thousands and thousands of people coming from Madrid to visit this city, but also when it comes to people that live here, because Madrid would attract a lot of the young talent. As soon as they finish their studies, go to university, the job market of Madrid awaits. And that's a problem in many cities in this part of Spain, the brain drain that they suffer. Because let's be honest, apart from tourism and services, there's not a lot going on here for the young people. Now here we have another emblematic building. This is called Santo Tomé, Almacén Visitable del Museo de Avila. Pasad, pasad. Closed currently, but free entry the rest of the week. Today's Monday, so it's not open, so we can't go in there. And what I will say, on my short time in this town, there's a lot of works going on. Lots of tractors, lots of front end loaders, lots of workers redoing this part of the city. And I imagine the upkeep in a place like this is very, very, very expensive. Now when it comes to population, we're talking about a small city, around 60,000 people approximately. And to put that into comparison, where I live on the outskirts of Madrid, there's around 105,000 people. So Avila, smaller than where I live. But of course, where I live on the outskirts of Madrid, there's no cultural heritage. But here in Avila, they have it in abundance. And again, like so many cities in this part of Spain, there is a fantastic quality of life. Now from what I've seen, the way people get around this town is either by car, on foot, or they catch a bus. Haven't seen many other types of transport here. Lots of cars moving around, lots of delivery vehicles, filling up the supermarket shelves, filling up the bars and restaurants with supplies. And that's the way people get around here. The church bell's ringing over there because it's just turned 12 noon. And back into the walled part of the city I go. Now here in front of us we have one of the fancier hotels in the city, I would say, a 4-star hotel, Sofraga Palacio, been here since 2015, and it belongs to the World Hotels crafted, whatever that means. So a fantastic hotel bang smack here in the center of Avila. Now it's about 12 and I reckon it's time to see if they still do fantastic tapas in this city when you order your drink. Spain has some cities which do offer fantastic tapas. Granada springs to mind, but in Salamanca, where I was recently, you do not get a tapa when you order a drink. But Avila apparently is unique in that regard. And as I said, when I was here many years ago, around 15 years ago, we did get a fantastic sized tapa. So let's go and see if that is still the case. Now I'll head up here and see if I stumble across a place that is offering beverages, that is offering tapas. We saw some before. I'll see if I can find those same places. Not sure, because I don't know where I am exactly at the moment. Car coming, noisy, but hopefully I'll be able to find a place that serves a decent sized tapa, and that will make my visit here worthwhile. Now I'm in luck. I've stumbled across the same square that we were in a few minutes ago, and I remember that these tapas places were just off this main square, and hopefully, as I said, they are now open for business and I can have a refreshment. Because even though this is a small city, you do get thirsty walking around these streets, I'll tell you that. Now, unfortunately, the place that I saw before is still closed, so I'm going to have to go to a plan B. And I want to avoid the real tourist areas like that square that we saw before, because sometimes you don't get the best quality or the best value for money, or at least that's been my experience over the years. And let's head down here and see if we find a bar or restaurant that is serving food. Because as I said before, my throat is a bit parched. Another standout building here, the Palacio de Polentinos, as we can see here. And it's currently being used as the Archivo General Militar de Avila, the General Military Archive. And it was a military academy here in Avila from 1875 to 1992, but that is no longer the case. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Puedo?
Sí, lo que quiera.
¿Puedo pasar?
Sí, la entrada la tiene usted por este pasillo.
Es que no quiero entrar en todo, solo quiero saber. Sí, ¿puedo? Sí, vale.
¿De dónde viene usted, por favor?
Australia.
Muy bien.
And as we can see here, todo por la patria, which means everything for your country. And that is the slogan of the Spanish military and also the civil guard here in Spain. And as we can see, this, as we saw before, a former military academy. La academia que había aquí, que era antes?
De intendencia.
Intendencia.
Sí.
O sea, que los que controlan el dinero.
Efectivamente.
Vale,
Sí,
vale,
el
vale.
dinero, los suministros, todo.
Sí, sí, sí. So speaking to the person in charge of that building, he said that it was a former academy for people that were in the intendencia in the military. I'm not sure how you would translate that in English, but what it means in Spanish is it's the people that control all of the money in the army, all of the stock, the buying, and all of those things are called intendencia, and that's where they trained and learnt their craft. Now apparently in this part of the town there's nowhere to eat or drink, so I have to head back up to that square that I saw before, so let's go. So my first experience trying to find a drink with a decent tapa, a dead end. I got a beer, expensive, but no food, and the excuse was that the kitchen was not open yet. So my advice is to avoid that restaurant here in Avila. But hey, you live and learn, right? Now on that sour note, I'm going to wrap this video up from Avila. It is a city that is worth visiting should you be in the area. Obviously it's not of the same magnitude as Salamanca or even Segovia, I would say, when it comes to things to see and do, but definitely worth a visit. And hopefully you'll have more luck than me when it comes to getting a decent tapa with your drink. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, that is the place for you. If you have been to this city, please share your experience in the section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from Avila. Now, I managed to come to the outskirts of the city. I found a bar over there, and hopefully in that bar, I'm going to get a free tapa with my drink. I haven't given up yet, so let's go in and see. So that is what I was talking about. You pay $2.80 for your drink and you get a decent sized tapa included in the price. I went for a sandwich, but there were plenty of things to choose from. So that's what I missed out on in the old part of town. But hey, that's what happens when you go into tourist places, right? So a decent sized tapa with your drink, still a thing here in Avila. Fantastic.